Okay, so before we start off this rather quick video, I would like to give a huge shout out to you guys. This channel is literally touching distance towards 400 subscribers, and that would not happen at all without you, the viewer. A big, massive thank you to every single one of you guys who subscribed, liked, or even comment on a video. Basically any sort of action to my channel, as long as it helps feed that all-important algorithm that YouTube loves. This is just another chapter to this insane summer, and genuinely it's all thanks to you guys. Now, with that out of the way, let's start off with today's topic. A rather obscure topic that I don't think anyone else has done a video on or talked about, but I'll try to attempt talking about it as best as I can. The Shogun Cyanitaur was the first returning monster announced in Sunbreak all the way back in September of last year. And all I can say is that this monster is a very welcome addition to the DLC. I've always enjoyed hunting the crab monsters like Shogun and the Hermitaur. His fight all in all was very fun and fast paced as expected of this monster. Most importantly however is his equipment, which was a huge help for me with regards to certain difficult quests, and this is where we enter the topic for discussion in today's video. As a dual blade main for Rise, I was very interested that Shogun was back because his dual blades were fairly decent for the middle part of the game. Sharpness was fine, a little bit of water element was good, and the raw damage was enough to help me along the way. But that isn't the only thing that perked my interest for the guy with regards to his dual blades. In Sunbreak, Shogun's dual blades design have a distinct sickle-like appearance. They look very badass, and I kinda like it. However, this particular dual blade design has been around since I think Generations back in 2015, and as a upgraded version. This is because if you look back in the older games, Shogun Cyanitaur had an original design towards his dual blades. This. Okay, right. I'm not even gonna waste time as to what this weapon design reminds me of. I mean, it still has that scythe-like design, but you know, it doesn't really take much to think that this design reminds me of a certain Asian symbol that has unfortunately been stolen and later used by a certain man with a funny mustache. Yes, okay, I know what you're about to say, but hear me out. This weapon design has been around all the way back in Freedom Unite, and it made its appearance in Generations, interestingly enough. Now this is where the new dual blade designs from earlier appeared as an upgrade, and the two dual blade designs have reappeared again in Generations Ultimate. When Monster Hunter Sunbreak came by, only the newer design made its return, with the older design nowhere to be found. Although, to give some context, the older dual blade design was a low rank weapon in the past games, with the newer dual blade design being a high rank upgrade in Generations. Now it would make sense because Sunbreak is a G rank game, so the higher weapon design should make its return rather than the older design. However, another weapon that has more than one design for the Shogun Cyanitaur is its longsword. It has both a low rank design from the older games and a high rank design from Generations. But what's interesting about Shogun Cyanitaur's longsword in Sunbreak is that it's using its older low rank design. To make things more complicated, every other weapon design to Shogun Cyanitaur takes the low rank form, except for his dual blades. Alright, I'm not going to come up with any solid conclusions as to why this decision was made, and no one really knows about this other than the devs. Maybe by chance the developers forgot the older dual blade design, or maybe they thought that the high rank design looks cooler. No matter the case, it is still interesting that Shogun Cyanitaur's dual blades are the only ones that don't take their low rank forms. Now in my opinion, this may have been a minor censorship thing not to raise any sort of controversy for the DLC. Sunbreak after all is on the Switch, which has always been viewed as a family-orientated console, so that could be the reason. Or it could be for any localization purposes. Maybe it's to avoid any problems particularly in Europe, for obvious reasons. This reminds me distinctly of that time in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was released in Europe. The Pokemon Regiseal had to have his sprite animation edited out, because his arm movement seems to be very similar to a salute that the funny mustache man is known for. Now that I think about it, maybe Nintendo has a hand in all this. I mean, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Monster Hunter Sunbreak, what these games have in common are that they're all played on a Nintendo console, so it may have been a measure to avoid any localization issues on Nintendo's part. However, it is all for speculation. As I said, there really isn't any video or articles talking about this topic, and to be honest, it's not a very important topic to discuss deeply. If the developers did have the older dual blade design return instead of the newer one for Sunbreak, I wouldn't think it would cause too much of an issue. It might have turned the heads of some people, but for the general population I don't think it would cause too much of an uproar. In the grand scheme of things, including these swastika stickers wouldn't really destroy the world of Monster Hunter in general, plus I much prefer the design of the newer dual blades anyway, so there's that. And that's been it. A very random video to make, and even more random to anyone who stumbled upon this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like at the end and don't leave yourself out of the discussion. Please leave your thoughts and comments be heard below, and till next time.